formidable robot.
I want to address something. I know that find the blank Roblox games are very child-focused, but I'm only a fan of a certain few, which are Find the Chomics, Find the Lollols, and most importantly, Find the Binguses. There's something in it which makes it so enjoyable. They get good traction, which is pretty reasonable. I'm not the best at puzzles, so I have to use those god-awful guides. Personally, they help bring my inner kid back in because I remember being awesome at scavenger hunts when I was a kid. Same can be said with the guides too. My friends are quite the opposite with these types of games, but sometime soon I want to make a submission for a Find the Blank game. Personally, it would have been awesome and even peak, as they say in the slang dictionary, if it got in. Honestly, my favorite Find the Blank game has to be Find the Binguses because of all the mapping, lore and designs. But have you ever seen something that almost completely ruins things for you? Well, that happened to me with Find the Binguses lately. See, I was looking at descriptions of all the Binguses that I have. However, I started to go AFK when I finished reading Tainted Bingus's description. I was going upstairs to get a snack, specifically some Ruffles. Now this is where things go from a 0 to a 100. Long story short, I got distracted. Anyways, when I went back down, I forgot I had read it already, so I reread it. While I was doing so, I was abruptly cut off, as when I was nearing the end of it, the name shortened to only Tainted, and his description changed to, a horrible person. Yes, it had the period. And his hint changed into extremely small text, which I sadly couldn't read in time, before the game got way darker than most of the lore I've seen. In fact, it felt like either a resignation letter, I doubt that though, or even a murder confession from a developer who had absolutely lost his shit. Or it could have been a horribly placed vent, because it feels way too personal. It had cut to a cutscene where a Bingus was beating up another Bingus. It was jumping on the other Bingus, biting them, slapping them, and even kicking them at painful spots. At the end, the Bingus who was beating up the other Bingus was forcing him to drink something. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely poisonous. It then cut to the image I just showed you. I was speechless. The devs would never get this dark, otherwise the game would be 13+. I was generally shocked. But that's not all, folks. It forcefully teleported me to Classic, but instead of the two swords for Perseastron Bingus being there, it was a photorealistic image of a Sphinx cat being held on a cross, and instead of the text that tells you about the swords, it changed to, he was the worst friend I've ever had. After a few seconds, I got teleported into some area I don't exactly remember, but it was definitely a backyard or an alley. I saw the corpse of that Bingus from earlier, but then I had gotten into an area that looked like hell. Not this looks awful type hell, but general hell. I couldn't move. Also, that same photoshopped image of the Bingus on the cross was there again. Text appeared on the screen. He was tainted, so very tainted. I hate you so much, Christopher. Do you know how unforgiving you were? You probably were a fake friend. A fake friend which was very good at first, but now you became the horrible person you are. I was panicking, but before I could say anything, I was kicked from the game. When I played it again, everything was usual, but Tainted Bingus's dex entry changed to this. Bloody hell.